Today is Saturday, the 25th of April, and it's been such a great day. I woke up very early today, even though I didn't sleep early yesterday, but right now I'm pretty much refreshed. I got to sleep in the course of the day, and usually when I do that, I feel so refreshed. I've heard others say that they struggle to sleep in the day. But for me, it is a bit different. I can basically sleep any time of the day, wake up any time of the day, and still be active any time of the day. And I remember that I got to experiment with this back in high school. So in high school, there were times that we go for prep, where prep was the sessions where we all went to learn. But then I'll go for prep and there's a lot of noise and people are disturbing, so usually you can't focus and study. So there came a time when I decided that even during prep time, I was just going to sleep. So I ended up sleeping most of the time during preps. If I slept during preps, it means that I was going to stay awake at least throughout the day to throughout the evening or the night, so that I can study more, right? And that became a routine. So I became more of a night person. I would study more at night. Then during the daytime, I'll try to rest as well, so that I could end up sleeping at prep or not. Yeah. And that was one discovery that, okay, it was so good when I could stay up awake and study. But then I had little time to sleep because I needed to wake up the following day to go to class, which meant that I would end up sleeping during the day, then waking up at night. For some time, that was okay for me. And I heard people complaining that, that is fine, but then sleeping early and waking up early to study was the biggest headache. So I decided to switch and give that a try as well. And then I started sleeping very early. So I'll go to prep, learn at prep. Then right after preps, I'll go and sleep. And I sleep and wake up around 2 a.m. or 3 a.m. thereabout. Then I'll go to studies. When I started this, I think I had a senior colleague who was actually waking up around the time to go and study. And I was looking to get closer to him to help me understand certain things. So I proposed that I'd be studying with him, which meant that I had to start going to wake him up every day. And he was at the time in the school prefect's cabin. So I'd have to go to the school prefect's cabin to go wake him up. And mind you, these were times that we weren't allowed to use mobile phones in school. So you just have to go there, wake him up. Then he'll dress up and we'll all go to the classroom block to go and study. And that's how I began. In fact, it was a little bit difficult when we started because we'll go around 2 a.m. and latest by 4, I'm tired and sleepy. But this senior colleague of mine would do up to like 6 a.m., then we'll come back, come and take our bath, then relax and prepare for class, which would start usually around 8 a.m. Or maybe we go to assembly or worship session early in the morning. So I started doing this, and over time, it became the routine for me that I'm able to wake up at 2 a.m. and go sit and study for up to 6 a.m. before I went back and came back to class. So that is one of the things that I learned, that when you practice something for so long, it can actually become possible. Like when you start off, you begin to think that this is not possible, or it's not for me. Like that's what most people say. This is not for me because you tried 2 times and it was difficult for you. And trust me, when I started that don't studies, it was really difficult, and I'd barely make it through the first 1 hour. I'm struggling to stay awake. But over time, I started, and also I think it was a matter of understanding what are the things that are likely to keep you awake. So for me, doing something like mathematics, which is one of my favorite courses back in high school, will definitely keep me awake. Like, especially when I'm solving very challenging problems. My brain cannot rest until I've solved those problems. Right. Once I identified that, I knew that these are the times to be learning those subjects that or those topics that really excited me, the things that I really wanted to explore. And if I took any boring course, like anything outside of chemistry, physics, mathematics, anything outside of that, even biology, sometimes I'll end up sleeping because biology, I needed to be memorizing things. And for me, I really enjoy learning things where there's explanation to it, where there's reasoning behind it, because I have to reason and do some connections, and I enjoy those ones the most. So when I came to that realization that I just need to be doing something that will actively involve my brain for me to stay awake, I started doing more of those things around that time. Then I started staying up way, like being able to power through the dawn time. Then over time, I also tested, hey, learn throughout the day, then sleep at night, have your full time sleep. So I discovered that any time of the day that I wanted to be active, if I engineered the circumstances to allow for it, that means that if I wanted to study at night, it means I probably had to sleep early or sleep in the daytime so that I can enjoy the night. And once I discovered that, hey, I don't mind whatever it is for as long as I want to do it, I'll just power through it and do it. And right now, as I'm sitting here, I feel so refreshed within me. I think the week has been really busy. I haven't been able to record videos as much as would have wanted. And there was a lot of things to be done, both in my startup and in my full time job. But this morning, when I woke up, I actually went for driving practice with a very good friend of mine. And once I came back from there, I I was so tired, like so tired. Yesterday I spent a lot of time cooking and didn't get enough time to sleep. Was I had to wake up in the morning to go meet my friend. So when I came back and I was feeling that tired, I just lie down in bed and ended up sleeping, which I now feel so refreshed for. So today is Saturday, and once I'm feeling refreshed, what do? I come downstairs to study because now I can focus on study. And there's a lot that I'm studying, especially with machine learning related things. So sitting here and consuming that knowledge and also building stuff. Like I'm really excited about this app that I'm using, and maybe one of these days I'll show you exactly the app that I'm using. But this is something I built for myself. It's a notebook. I like to study using a notebook. I always have a notebook and a pen where I write. I remember back in, say, undergrad in the uni, I used to learn by writing on my handouts. So usually we print out handouts, and I'd have probably a highlighter or a pen that I would circle things, highlight things, then try and write my own understanding of things so that my handouts were never really empty. Like it wasn't just the black printed text on it. It almost always had some extra context that I've added that would make me understand or easily remember the things that I learned about it. So anytime I'm learning, I want something like that where I can point to something, write on it. And so I ended up building my own notebook or whiteboard. I call it like a notebook plus a whiteboard because that's how I learn. Like not just writing a note, having a note in there and being able to script things when wherever I wanted. So I built this particular notebook application where I do that. And in fact, the interesting part is that I built this whole thing in less than a day. And it's just amazing, like how AI in today's world can help you achieve the things that you want. Like I use several platforms, but none of them works the way that I want my note taking application to work. Because over the past 5 years, I've used things like OneNote, Jamboard, Evernote, Notion, Journal Plus Plus, Escalidraw, Eraser.io. I've tested all these platforms and I enjoy using them for individual things. But the one comprehensive platform where I'm able to learn the way that I really want to learn hasn't been. Like I haven't been able to achieve it. So this one in particular, for instance, let me show you. Look, take a look at this. So this is actually a website, like a blog that I've pasted in here in my notebook, and you can see this is my notebook. I can bring it up so you see what it looks like. This is my notebook, right? And I'm able to get this thing here, right here. So whilst I'm learning, I can take my notes and I can actually write on it. So you see, like the same way that I want when I'm learning stuff, I can do that right here as I learn. And that is exactly what I've been looking for. And I'm glad that I was able to build this using tools like Cloud Code and Cloud Design. In fact, it was the day that Cloud Design was released that I decided to try it out. Oh, yesterday was Friday. Okay, that's good. Yeah, so it was last week Friday when it was released. In fact, when I saw the release, I was like, let me just try it out. Do I have any idea in mind? So I started with one idea that I had, then it came out pretty solid. Like the prototype was created, I loved it. I'm like, okay, what is one thing that I really would want to build that I would use if I built it right now? I don't need it to be like a product where I'm going to sell. It has to be something that is worth my time, that if I built, I was going to use it, because I want to move from Cloud Design designing a prototype for me, then Cloud Code building the tool for me. So I went ahead to think about it and eventually I remembered, oh no, the notebook approach, because I like writing notes a lot when I'm learning. So why don't I build something for that? And I went ahead to start with Cloud Design to design the interface. Then once, in fact, I exhausted my Cloud Design usage that very day. I think I worked on three different things that very day, but then I got the design, a perfect design for the notebook that I wanted. Then I tried to use Cloud Code to code the product. Unfortunately, I had exhausted my Cloud Code subscription. I had maxed it out. So what I did was to use Cursor, and I used Cursor for that very Friday evening and the Saturday to build the entire product and launched it, as in published it or deployed it, and now I have access to it anywhere. The next thing that I'm thinking about is to convert it to a desktop app so that I don't necessarily have to be on the web to be using it. But so far, so cool. I really enjoy it. And this is where I say that there's so much opportunity out there right now. If you have a problem and you're looking for a solution to it, feel free to jump on to some of these AI tools and explore them. Like that's the goal. The goal is to explore, have fun building these things. I know a lot of people who try one time and they just give up because you didn't get what you wanted, or you were just telling yourself, oh, I don't know how to use this, I don't have the experience. Trust me, these are new tools. Like Cloud Design was released that very Friday when I used it. I am not waiting for someone to do a tutorial, because, mind you, the person who is going to do a tutorial on it to share with us is someone who is also learning it that very day. In fact, by the end of Friday, I saw several YouTube videos where people were demonstrating how to use Cloud Code. Like, note that nobody is an expert in the tool because the tool was just released, unless those who built the tool. But every other person, content creator out there who is creating content around these things, is coming off as an expert because they have 1 hour playing with the tool. So what stops you from also trying the tool out and using it so that you also have that 1 hour experience? Or if more, like I spent the Friday evening playing with the tool such that I was able to build 3 different projects with it and even exhausted my subscription. It was supposed to reset yesterday, which is also a Friday, exactly a week from when I exhausted it. Right. So that is one thing that I highly encourage us to try. That whatever it is that you're doing, there's definitely a way to use AI in there right now. And if you want to do that, just give it a try. I mean, you don't have to tie like some economic value outcome to whatever you're doing. But if you can start with, oh, I need this thing, let me try and see if I can build it. Right. Essentially, that is it. And now that you've built it, of course, I'm not really looking to sell a note taking application, but I believe that there are a couple of people out there who might be like me who want something similar, this type of notebook where they can capture and scribble things on their notes the way I also study. Right. So if that is the case, then I can decide to push this as a product that I'm going to sell. But of course, that's not the primary goal here. And what I'm saying is that maybe you should also start thinking about the things that interest you, the things that you want, the solutions that you wish existed. In fact, nowadays, anytime you thought to yourself, but why is there no solution like this? Why is there no product like this? Why is there no one doing this? Anytime you have a variant of this particular statement, you'd want to start thinking about it. But why not me? If there isn't a solution like that, in fact, sometimes even when you think about it, there's probably a solution like that. So maybe you want to start with a research and figure out, is someone else doing this? What is different? Like, what is the different thing that I wish existed in this product that doesn't already exist? Then you can go ahead and try building it. In fact, with the how powerful these AI tools are, I'm not saying you're going to build like a production grade application if you have no idea of coding, but at least you can build something useful, especially if it is for you as an individual to use. So if you're thinking about something that's a solution that you wish existed, and hey, feel free to just jump into any of these AI tools and start chatting with it as if you would chat with a human. Let's assume that you came across me as a software engineer and you had this beautiful idea that you wish existed. You talk to me and ask me to build it for you. Of course, you have to articulate the problem, the solution, how you anticipate it to be, and any relevant context that will help me build you the right solution. So you can do that with an AI, talk directly to it, and help it build you that prototype, or I mean usable prototype if I should call it, so that you would be able to use it. If down the line you want to refine and turn it into a product that you really sell, then that becomes a different conversation. But at least you would have experience working with these tools and also have something tangible that you can play with. So yeah, I am going back to studying, and it's a weekend. I spend the weekend also thinking about my content, my brand, and everything that I need to do. For the past 2 weeks, I've been really busy with the startup work. So over the weekends, I spent most of the time coding. Didn't have much time to do content related work. But today I'm reviewing my content strategy for the month of April, what has worked, what hasn't worked, and also the brand that I'm trying to establish, and or the brand that I'm building actually. And today I'm trying to review that to see anything that needs to be done, any updates, and also tracking my engagement metrics, the most relevant things to understand going into May, what should be my strategy and how do I approach the content, which type of content is resonating the most with people, how do I scale the very things that I'm doing. So that is the period of day that I'm in right now. And I'm doing this with the help of AI tools like Claude. Claude is now, in fact, I just discovered that it can like not just discovered, but having used it for this purpose. So I'm now trying to use it to go on to my LinkedIn profile to see all my post engagement, track the metrics, and also analyze why certain posts perform better than others. And I haven't done this before, but as I said, I see this part of the work or building a brand as like the most difficult part that I haven't, like I don't really have the time and energy for. So being able to use a tool like Cloud Code to help me do this, or Cloud Cowork actually, it's Cloud Cowork to help me do this, it's so awesome, and I'm really excited about what it could potentially do. And I'm wondering if I could end up scheduling this so that I don't have to be worrying about my tracking my metrics, tracking the performance of my posts, but I'll have Cloud Code intermittently do that, analyze them, and give me insights. Because as a human being, what you really need, especially if you're a leader leading a team, what you need is the insights. You don't necessarily need all the little details in there. So how many views did a single post get? Like all of those things are not too important to me for as long as I can get an insight into this is what is working, what this is what people are resonating with, this is what you need to do more of, and it is actually insight that are derived from the data. That's what you need as an individual who is leading a team. And I'm trying to build this personal brand by leveraging AI. So I have a team of AI agents that are assisting me doing the things that do not scale, the things that I personally would want to outsource. If I had a human team, the things that I would have given to them to do, like an example being getting the engagement data and analyzing it to see performance. So pretty excited about this experiment to see how it goes and also how it can help me scale up the brand that I'm building. And I'm happy to report to you any updates or any things that I learn along the way. Until next time, I'll see you. Okay? Stay good and just do something. Keep moving and do something.